What do you think of that? What don't you think of that? I think that girl's got everything that she deserves.
Hello everyone, welcome to Middle Aged Opinion. And that's it.
Do we have to say who we are?
We don't have to.
Okay,
I mean, if
'cause
they
I
can't
could really
read
have to
L
say
and
I'm
M's.
Hello, I'm Emily.
Hello, Millie.
Hello. Welcome.
I'm actually crying and we haven't even...
Yeah.
Men, leave men. I don't know. Literally, every time it's in my head and I don't know why. It just stinks. Right. Do you want to go first? I went first last time.
Yeah, let's start.
Okay.
Welcome to Middle Aged Opinion.
There you go.
Let's get on.
Let's what?
Let's get on.
Go.
Okay.
Oh, hello! Okay, so over to you.
All right.
Yep.
Okay. So, am I the arsehole if we decided not to give 50% of the wedding cash gifts to my in-laws and offer an apology after?
Okay.
So, we eloped a few months ago. Super short ceremony. Photos, that's it. We have a business that's grown pretty quick and we wanted all our savings to go towards it. Reason why we decided not to go for a wedding party. Nevertheless, my in-laws wanted a party because their traditions, they're Middle Easterners. After back and forth, we agreed on it, and with the condition that we would not be giving any money to them, which they agreed to. We went and checked out the event centre in which the wedding party will be taking place, and we decided no money will be received from our side. My husband's dad joked about giving his wife, my husband's mum, some money from the wedding gifts, in which she said, no, this is y'all gift.
Y'all gift.
Y'all gift.
Yeah.
My mother-in-law, which I will be forever grateful, was in charge of everything. As expected, we only showed up for the wedding. The wedding was full of their family and friends, which was okay with us as that was not our money. Wedding day goes by. 2 days later, we met up with them to count the money and write how much each guest gave. Again, Middle Eastern tradition. After we finished counting, we ate and left. The crazy part comes now. As we leave, the mum closes the door so hard that my husband and I looked at each other as, what the fuck? 2 days later, I'm COVID plus. Positive, sorry.
Yeah.
Same as them. So my husband texted and called them with no answer or response. A few days later, we were informed that they were mad at us because we didn't give them money as agreed. I was like, wait a minute. I made sure before we agreed to the party that they understood that there was no way they'll receive money from us. Today, his brother calls and told him, as in her husband, I guess,
Yeah.
that they are waiting for an apology. Like, why? So, Reddit, am I the arsehole for not letting my husband apologise with his family, for not even discussing the idea with him to give them part of the guest wedding gift money? Should we give them money?
So you're saying that the mother and father-in-law to the bride decided to throw them a European...
No, to the groom's mum and dad.
The groom's mum and dad decided to throw them a party more for their friends and family, and then demanded half of the gift money from said party.
Yeah.
Right. She's not the arsehole. They're arseholes. Unless something was agreed prior, why would they expect half of what was given to the bride and groom?
It doesn't even make sense, does it?
It doesn't make sense at all. I mean, that would annoy me. It sounds like they weren't even wanting this party. Not that they didn't want it, but you know, they did it as a gesture to the mum and dad because of the culture.
They'd already said that like their business was more important, so they did a small wedding and they had some photos. That's it.
Yeah, and then they've gone out of their way to throw this party, and they're like, "Hold on, you owe us half the money back." Yeah, it's outrageous. What do you think?
It's a no.
Yeah,
Absolute arseholes they are.
Yeah, she's not an arsehole.
No. How can you expect to be given money that people who have turned up to wish them well, half of that money?
Of course.
Here's a gift for you.
Right.
Half of it for your mum.
If the groom's mum and dad needed a contribution towards that, should have been discussed and agreed before the party.
Absolutely, but clearly, well, it seems quite clear to me that they
it's
absolutely not.
Yeah, it's not the OP's fault. Like, she had no idea that they'd want half the money. I mean, it's a bit weird, isn't it? To all of a sudden be like, oh, by the way, that's $2,000, thanks. They don't even know what they got as gifts.
No, they do, because they all sat down together.
Oh, they all counted it together.
Yeah.
That's weird as well.
She said it's a Middle Eastern
tradition.
Okay.
All right, well, still.
Yeah.
I just feel like, and I feel like if giving half the money was part of the culture, then the groom would have been aware of that. But he wasn't. So, very strange behaviour. I mean, you know, the more we read, the more I'm like, everyone's gone and lost the plot.
Yeah, this is why I'm happy to be at home on my own.
Yeah, just reading the stories. Yeah.
So, the top comment says, "Baby girl, all I can say is
baby girl."
Yeah.
I hate that.
Well,
I hate that so much. Baby girl.
I think this is a woman though.
Baby girl. Let's put on the echo for it. Baby girl. Okay. Very upset by baby girl.
You love it.
I hate it.
I won't read it again. All I can say is welcome to being married to Middle Eastern.
Okay.
From the post alone, I can tell you're not Middle Eastern. Welcome to hell in human form.
Oh.
You're about to. A few days later, they'll say you are mad at us for X, Y, and Z for the rest of your life.
Oh my God.
Learn how to read minds, because they will always be mad at you for something. And just know that if you and your husband decide to do anything that is against his mother's wishes, you will be called a manipulator and trying to control her son.
Oh dear.
Shit.
Oh dear. So run. That's what this person's suggesting, is that they run away now.
Either that or shut up and put up, isn't it? Really, like just.
I don't think I could.
No.
That's why we wouldn't do very well, babe. No, in other countries we wouldn't. Not that I, disrespecting anyone's belief, but I just wouldn't do very well because I've got too much of a gob.
Yeah, I feel like I'm too opinionated.
I'm
now.
too gobby. Yeah, it's too late for us.
I can't be shut down anymore.
I can't do it. No.
I can't do it. Yeah, so I'm going to leave that one there.
Okay, fantastic. About 3 years ago, I had a contractor rip me off of 2K. Here is my revenge. It's also still in play. As well as I had a contractor screw me over about 2K, I downloaded a burner app number. So every few months, I'd call the guy randomly and ask about his business and see if he would be willing to work with me. He owns a concrete pumping company. So sometimes I tell him that I need a pump at so-and-so on a certain day and ask if he's cool with a check, or should I hit his bank for cash, or should I hit the bank for cash? Hook, line and sinker. Then he loaded up his equipment and drivers. An hour to get to the job site that doesn't exist. I almost always sent him somewhere I know. He had to drive past a friend's house or place of employment. My friend then calls me and tells me, dickhead, the contractor is almost on site. Every once in a while, I'd ask if he can provide a 10-man crew with a pump, as it's just me and Grandpa putting it in a garage. And we were not that good. It's been going on now for 3 years. Labour fuel. Loss of real work. That 2K has had to cost him well over 15K by now, if not more. I'm in the construction business. If anybody gives me crap about how cruel I am, oh well, I still sleep pretty good at night. He is not competition in line of work. He was someone who I used to hire to pump concrete. He knows he messed up. He said he would make it right. And that the last time he ever called me or answered my real number. I don't know what that means, but anyway. Yeah, that's brilliant. What do you reckon? What are you laughing at now?
I mean, that's some proper dedication.
That's dedication to the finest. I think it was great.
Oh, I've thought about doing things like that before.
I know, I've never done it though.
No.
But he's been doing it for 3 years.
Like they would know it was me.
3 years. But he must have to put on different voices.
I mean, what is that thing he downloaded?
But it's a burner thing. So basically, the internet generates the number.
So
I've heard about them before.
I've never heard about it. Would that give you a different? Could you do
A different number
voice
every
as well?
time. I don't know.
Surely
I mean,
they must recognise the voice.
there's apps that you can do different voices on, so I don't think that would be difficult. But what about the 10-man crew with the pump? It's just me and Grandpa in the garage. So it would, because he'd have to hire all those men on site to go and do the job, and there's nobody there when they get there. Just picking random addresses off the internet. Brilliant.
It's brilliant.
Yeah, considering the contractor ripped you off, I think he deserves it. How many others have ripped him off? I bet you're not the only one that he's ripped off. That's what that man's trying to say. Continue to be his bad karma. Oh dear. Well, considering he's still in business, he's ripped off a lot. That's what the OP said. So, yeah, brilliant.
Wow.
I liked that story. Just a bit of a giggle.
Do you know what? I know somebody who, I mean, I don't know who did it to them,
Right.
but it was fucking hilarious. But basically, they had moved into their new apartment,
Right.
and one of their friends had sent them a random box, a gift, and when he opened it, it exploded glitter. So his whole place was just covered in glitter. It's brilliant.
That is fantastic. And
Well, they've done it, I think,
you never, it's like when you put up a Christmas tree and then 6 months later you find a bit of tinsel. It's like the never ending.
You can never get rid of
You
glitter.
can never get rid of glitter.
That's it.
It's like every time we go away, us and the girls, and the amount of glitter. I do feel sorry for wherever we go. It's all the time, every time. That's it.
No. Right. Nice. All right. Am I the arsehole for not wanting to be my best friend's secret maid of honour?
Okay, interesting.
Okay. For context, we've been friends for years, although our high...
Some words, isn't it? It's just some words. I was like on the last one. I just can't get them out.
For context,
Start again, please. And me going.
am I the arsehole for not wanting to be my best friend's secret maid of honour?
No.
For context, we have been friends for years, all through our high school. My best friend, we'll call her Morgan, dated her now fiance Jack. Morgan and Jack are getting married in August of this year. Leading up to the engagement, she expressed to me she wanted me to be her maid of honour. She straight out asked me to be because she couldn't imagine anyone else. Jack also heavily involved me in the planning of the proposal. Fast forward to now, I have been helping plan everything for Morgan: bridesmaid proposals, bachelorette party, ceremony, catering, venues, reception, after party, honeymoon, the budgeting for all events. I joking made the comment while I was showing her the new budget breakdown. I guess since I'm your built-in maid of honour, we don't have to worry about a maid of honour proposal in the budget. Morgan then told me we're actually still need to budget for that because I want. Hold on, I'm lost.
It's fine, because I want just above you, the line above.
We still need to budget for that because I want Lindsay, her sister, to be my official maid of honour. I was like, whoa, pause. I have been doing all of the heavy lifting for the better part of a year, and you're now telling me I'm not going to be your maid of honour. She then told me, well, you're like my secret maid of honour. You can still be my maid of honour and do all the maid of honour things, but Lindsay will just be my official one. I don't know why this really bothered me. I'm still a part of the bridal party, but I'm being expected to do everything mentioned earlier, while Lindsay is being expected to do nothing because she is too irresponsible. I won't be given credit either, as not to embarrass Lindsay. I honestly want to relinquish all the unnecessary stress and responsibilities. Oh my God. Am I the arsehole for not wanting to be her second secret maid of honour?
Yeah. Actually, for once, yeah. That's what friends do.
It is what friends do.
Friends just do what they've got to do, and it's as simple as that. She has a sister, very same situation with me. Obviously, when I got married, I had Lisa, my sister, and Jenna, who obviously has been my best mate since we were 6. So Jenna and Lisa were both my matron of honour, but Jenna was my best friend matron of honour, and Lisa being my sister matron of honour. So that's just sometimes how you got to look at things. It really doesn't matter title, because Lindsay, it is Lindsay, isn't it?
The sister is Lindsay.
No, what's the wife? Morgan. Morgan will never forget what she's done for her as a friend, which can only strengthen the friendship, in my opinion. You just do what you've got to do for friends, and sometimes you've got to shut up and put up. What do you reckon?
I mean, for what you've said, yeah, maybe you are the arsehole, but equally, no, because when you've put so much into someone and into helping them have their best, you kind of want to be like thanked on the day and be like, yeah, I did that, thank you very much, you're welcome.
100%. And she should be thanked for everything.
Yeah, and I'm sure she is.
So maybe everyone's the arsehole. She's definitely arsehole. That's definitely arsehole behaviour. Oh, yeah. I need you to recognise what I've done. It's like, it's actually about your mate. So yes, you've been amazing, but sometimes you just got to swallow.
Yeah, so,
exactly.
You know what you did.
Exactly.
Do you need the whole hide?
She does deserve a thank you, 100%. But she should be getting that anyway from her mate. So if Morgan's not doing that, then she's also the arsehole, which means everybody's the arsehole. But I don't think this gratitude is completely needed all the time from everyone. Sometimes it's just about the friendship and the bond that you have, and sometimes things that you do.
Could you imagine doing everything and then the other person who literally hasn't done anything because they're too irresponsible gets like the praise? Well done, you've done such a great job.
I don't know. All right, so if it was Jenna, I don't know. See, I'm quite lucky because again, our friendship group is not like that. We recognise. It's hard to put myself mentally in that position, because the friends that I have would recognise my role in a situation. But I don't know. You don't always need praise for things.
You don't always need the praise. You don't. I don't think having
Morgan
her
will
stand up
nev-
on the wedding day and go,
everyone.
thanks to her,
Yeah.
this is why. But yeah, you're right. I don't know. She needs the
Yeah.
recognition, but it doesn't need to be a public recognition.
I do get where she's coming from. Yes, she probably does need some recognition, but to walk away, to step back and leave things to someone that isn't going to step up to the plate is not fair either, because then you're even a bigger arsehole.
Yeah, I don't think she'd forgive herself if...
Exactly, that's what I mean. You know, and if her mate can't recognise everything she's done, how good of friends are they really anyway?
Mm-hmm.
Do you see what I mean? So I think everyone's a bit of an arsehole.
I think everyone's a little bit of an arsehole.
What does Reddit think?
Even Lindsay, to be quite honest, I don't care how irresponsible she is, she should be doing something.
Yeah, of course, but they should be communicating that as well.
Well, the top one says, not the arsehole and just wow. This might be petty, but I'd be like, okay, well, I will start turning some of this over to Lindsay. She's going to have to put some effort in because this is a lot of work. And then that is what I'd do. Maybe keep one or two of the most important things under your supervision, but Lindsay needs to sweat for the wedding, wiping out the credit card, making calls, getting contracts, etc. Lol. Also, we're proposing to the wedding party now. What on earth? What?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Don't know. Reason 917. I think weddings are ridiculous. Oh, she's anti-wedding anyway.
Yeah. She's like, don't do it. Save yourself. I just think that sometimes it's unnecessary. You're making drama where there is no need for drama. Also, the bride should be doing more than what she's doing. Like, you're getting married and you're what? Here's all the stuff that needs to be done. Good luck with that.
Yeah.
Like, get on with it yourself.
Like an unpaid wedding planner.
Honestly, like, both times I've been like, 3 times I've been right. I really didn't have to do much. It comes down to the hen do, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I think.
But when it comes to the wedding, that's their wedding. They said, this is the dress you're wearing. I said, lovely. You know, if I had to pay for it, I pay for it. Like, there was nothing that I was ever funny about, and if I was asked to do anything or needing to do anything, I just got on and did it.
I don't know. Helen got me this. Sorry, Helen. She knows though. She knows. She got me this dress. It was very similar to her Flower Girls, and we put it on.
Remember?
And we were all like, "What the fuck is this?"
Oh, really?
But equally, I had a 3-month-old baby. So
Yeah,
it was just
you
like,
looked incredible for a
getting
3-month-old baby.
No, she got me a new dress.
Yeah, okay, but then she
didn't
must
get-
have thought you looked like crap as
No,
well.
we all did.
Oh, well, there you go.
I looked like a giant candy floss.
And that's another thing about our friendship group. We would never let any of us walk round like candy floss. We just wouldn't though, would we? So, I've still got both of my bridesmaid dress from Terry and Jenna, and they're beautiful. And one day I'll go to something, I'm not sure what, where I can wear them again. But, you know, they weren't dresses that, I think I brought the one from Terry. I can't remember. And I think Jenna purchased the ones. Either way, it doesn't matter. It makes no difference. But if they'd given me a black sack with a bit of shit on it and said, this is what you got to wear, that's what I would have done.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah. No, but
I would have worn the candy
she
floss,
thought you looked like shit as well.
but we all were like,
yeah,
wow,
I look really awful in this. Yeah. So, you know, that's what I'm saying.
not
You
sure
know,
this works.
but the bride, like I say, the bride needs to step up and do a bit more. You can't leave everything to everybody else. It's not acceptable behaviour.
Yeah,
So that's where I'm coming from. So I think we're agreed.
we're agreed.
Yeah, everyone's an arsehole. This is a really short and sweet one, but I read the first line and I was like, that's weird. So I thought you'd like it.
Okay.
My secret. I eat cement and can't stop. The urge to keep eating it is impossible to hold back. The crunch between my teeth is the only thing that makes me happy. Due to this obsession, my wife and kids left me after I put cement in the food, and then my kids were sent to hospital Now you know my secret. Please don't judge. What do you reckon? Have you ever watched the programme Weird Obsessions?
Cement. I was going to be like, is this dry cement
Make
or
my
is this
teeth feel
wet
funny.
cement?
I can only assume it's
I'm
dry.
going dry
Because he said crunch. He. Because he put his kids in hospital. So his wife
said
and
my wife,
kids,
yeah.
What do you reckon? Could you put up with something like that?
I mean, I'm not really into eating concrete.
It's making my
personally.
teeth feel really funny.
In fact, any type of food that has any sort of gritty feeling, I can't eat it.
You don't like?
I don't like gritty feelings.
You don't like it. I'm
But
trying to think what's gritty.
Ice cream with lumps in it, can't eat it.
Oh no, so I'm not a lover of ice cream, as you know, but if it was a salted caramel and it's got those hard lumps in, I'm fine with that.
No, don't do.
But now my teeth feel so funny because all I keep thinking about is the texture of concrete in my mouth. It's like hurting my mouth thinking about it. I mean, had he just kept his... he's calling it my secret, but yet he's come to Reddit to tell everybody. I suppose he's anonymous.
Well, it's not very secret now,
Not
is it?
anymore.
Please put his kids into.
That's my point.
That's not great. Is
I
it?
mean, he was like, "I'll cook dinner, babe. You relax." And then he's like, "Kids."
Yeah, but what did he? What was it, like a lump of concrete? What did he put it in?
I don't know, but it must have been
conceal it. What
in a
was
carbonara. He
was
swapped
it?
out the ham for concrete, but that he must have put something in it where she's bitten. It's really making my teeth funny. Where she's bitten down and it's all like concrete. I don't know.
It could break their teeth though. I mean, what's the granule size here? What are we talking?
I don't know. And
'Cause
where
I feel
is he
like
missing like
if
half
this
a
was
wall?
Yeah, if there was a plate and there was a hard chunk of lump, I don't think I'd eat it.
Is he like
So
a
he
dog
must
that
have
like
been-
eats out the wall?
Like a bored animal.
She's like, what's this? We haven't got a dog. And he's like, nothing, and it's all stuck in
All
between
his
people. I just saw I read the top line and I was like, you're like that. So weird, right?
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it is like, that's what I'm saying.
Are
It
they
is
still
like
married?
a thing. It doesn't, they've left. That's all that there is to it. There's a couple, I think he has replied, is this Diesel, I don't know, I'm assuming their name is some sort of concrete. And then he said, maybe, does anybody want an update? Only 4 people said they do, but I feel like people...
Skipped it because we thought fucking weirdo.
Yeah, because it is strange. It
So,
is. I mean, what
is
could
his kids alright?
I'm
I mean,
going to
that would
assume
be
they're
the
all
update,
right.
I would
If
like.
he's all right, then I'm assuming they're all right. I don't really know.
I mean, how does he pass that?
I don't know, and I don't really know what the consistency of concrete is to when you need to go to hospital. I mean, if that was my child, I would have taken them to hospital and said my husband has tried to kill us all with concrete. What did you have for dinner? Concrete. I mean, at least it's calorie free. If nothing else,
Dust.
literally dust. So that's a positive. But that was my little story there. I think we've got time for one more.
Right.
Because that's only ickle.
Let's do it.
Go.
So, this one is funniest go-to stories. So this is what I've come up with.
Okay.
Right. They have deleted, so it's interesting that I don't know who this has come from.
Okay.
So 3 friends, and we will call them Adam, Cole, and Steve.
Okay.
Were at Cole's last St. Patrick's Day party. We had all gotten there around 7 so that we could all go together to a party near Cole's house. Okay. However, Adam had brought some alcohol and we thought that it would be a great idea to pre-game and just be late to the party. Standard.
Yeah.
So we started to play a drinking game, progressively getting shit-faced. As soon as all the alcohol was gone, we headed out for the party, but Steve reminded us that we shouldn't drive drunk, so we started to walk. After stumbling down the road for 30-ish minutes, Adam falls down and passes out in front of some guy's house. Steve, Cole and I all flip our shit because we think he's dead. So we play rock, paper, scissors to see who has to bury him. Steve and I tried, so we told Cole to go back home. Then we tried to bury Adam in this guy's yard by digging with our hands.
Bruv.
When we realised that we were making no headway,
Of course not.
we decided to take Adam home and bury him in the morning.
Oh my God.
So we tried to pick him up, but we kept on dropping him. So Steve told me to go and get my car and pick him up so we could do it before the cops came. So I did. Told me to go and get my car and pick him up so we could do it before the cops came. So I did. And I went 2 miles an hour because I was scared of missing the turn. When I finally got back to the spot, I found Steve crying over Adam. And I told him to suck it up and to help me put Adam in the trunk. As soon as we laid him in there, I saw a woman in a nightgown come out of a house across the street and scream, "You better have a damn good explanation for all this." And I thought she was a ghost. I turned to tell Steve to get in the car, but he was already running off into the night. So I closed my trunk, but then opened it again because I was scared Adam couldn't breathe. But then I closed it again because I didn't want Adam to fall out. But opened it again for some reason, then yelled, "Fuck the police," and jumped into my car and sped off at 5 miles per hour. When I finally got back to Cole's house, he was asleep on the lawn and Steve was waiting for me, and we unloaded Adam and put him in Cole's basement. Then I threw up on his head and fell asleep on Cole's spare futon. Next morning, Adam was alive, drenched in puke, sweat, a little blood, and for some reason, dirt. Steve and I were hungover and Cole needed a new futon.
Brilliant. They're saying they were just drunk.
They're saying they were absolutely fuck-faced.
Yeah, they were fuck-faced on more than alcohol. It was like they were hallucinating, like, oh, it was a ghost. The woman in her nightgown.
I mean, I do wonder how old they were.
I mean, it's a brilliant story. It's a very good story. I liked it. Very funny. Where did you find that? On the...
Yeah, the Reddit, what's your funniest go-to story that is most often requested by your friends.
It's hilarious.
It's really funny. Like, could you imagine thinking someone was dead, so you're going to try and
bury
them? Could you imagine not being dead, but finding yourself buried?
I mean, that's
scary.
That's scary. It's never happened on a night out yet, but there is time.
Listen, we've never died.
We've almost died.
But did you die?
We didn't die, but we almost died. I mean...
You remember that time you died?
Remember? There has been times that we have gone out, the lot of us, and they were like, we should have died. We should have actually been dead by now. And it's like, when you're in that moment and everything feels like such a good idea, and then when you're sober and you've had a bit of time to think about it, you're like, we almost died.
I don't know how we are not dead.
I don't know if we're ever going to grow up and stop the antics.
I feel like we've missed out something here though, because we have not had this experience.
No. Where someone is dead.
Actually dead.
But sometimes people think Jenna's dead and then she bounces back up.
Yeah.
So
I think she was close to it last week.
Yeah, but I always say, don't worry, she'll be up in a minute, and then up she
was
gets.
Fine. She was fine.
She just takes a minute.
There she is.
Yeah, the body catches. The body catches up. So I suppose if you look at it like that, it's just I know well enough to know she's not dead. No, she's all right.
I don't think she would appreciate us trying to bury her though.
But it would be funny. So maybe we should do it. Like, dig it up. Oh my God. Dear. Honestly,
Yeah, that really tickled me, that
yeah,
one.
it's a great story. Let me see if I can. I don't think this is funny, but it's a petty revenge, which I like. So we've got time. It's only 22 minutes, so let's see if we can get another one in.
Yeah.
I feel like I got a blocked nose from all that laughing earlier. And the crying, it's like blocks my nose, like I was actually crying. I wasn't actually crying, body. Okay, let's see if I can get through this and read it better than I did the second time. Was right, first time was a bit shit, but it's longer, isn't it? I feel like that's where anything more than 3 lines is like a struggle.
It's one of those, don't give up your day jobs.
Literally, I haven't got one. Right, nosy neighbours. So this happened about 20 years ago. We lived in a small terrace property for about a year before our neighbour changed. There were 100-year-old cold and for fuck's sake. Uninsulated, there we go, because it's uninsulated, that is a big word, right? Whereas earlier I was saying all those big words. I fucking start again, you fucking mum. Fuck's sake. Got a whole episode of bloopers. It's just 1 hour on fucking the podcast. Nosy neighbours, cunt.
And I went 2 miles an hour because I was scared of missing the turn. When I finally got back to the spot, I found Steve crying over Adam. And I told him to suck it up and to help me put Adam in the trunk. As soon as we laid him in there, I saw a woman in a nightgown to come out of a house across the street and scream, "You better have a damn good explanation for all this." And I thought she was a ghost. I turned to tell Steve to get in the car, but he was already running off into the night. So I closed my trunk, but then opened it again because I was scared Adam couldn't breathe. But then I closed it again because I didn't want Adam to fall out. But opened it again for some reason, then yelled, "Fuck the police," and jumped into my car and sped off at 5 miles per hour. When I finally got back to Cole's house, he was asleep on the lawn, and Steve was waiting for me, and we unloaded Adam and put him in Cole's basement. Then I threw up on his head and fell asleep on Cole's spare futon. Next morning, Adam was alive, drenched in puke, sweat, a little blood, and for some reason, dirt. Steve and I were hungover, and Cole needed a new futon.
Brilliant. They're saying they were just drunk.
They're saying they were absolutely fuck-faced.
Yeah, they were fuck-faced on more than alcohol. It was like they were hallucinating, like, oh, it was a ghost. The woman in her nightgown.
I mean, I do wonder how old they were.
I mean, it's a brilliant story. It's a very good story. I liked it. Very funny. Where did you find that? On Funny? On the...
Yeah, the Reddit, what's your funniest go-to story that is most often requested by your friends.
It's hilarious.
It's really funny. Like, could you imagine thinking someone was dead, so you're going to try and
bury
them? Could you imagine not being dead, but finding yourself buried?
I mean,
that's scary.
That's scary. It's never happened on a night out yet, but there is time.
Listen, we've never died.
We've almost died.
But did you die?
We didn't die, but we almost died. I mean...
You remember that time you died?
Do you remember? There has been times that we have gone out, the lot of us, and they were like, we should have died. We should have actually been dead by now. And it's like, when you're in that moment and everything feels like such a good idea, And then when you're sober and you've had a bit of time to think about it, you're like, we almost died.
I don't know how we are not dead.
I don't know if we're ever going to grow up and stop the antics.
I feel like we've missed out something here though, because we have not had this experience.
No, where we thought
Where
someone was
is
dead.
actually dead.
But sometimes people think Jenna's dead and then she bounces back up.
Yeah.
So
I think she was close to it last week.
yeah, but I always say, don't worry, she'll be up in a minute, and then up she
She was
gets.
fine. She was fine.
She just takes a minute.
There she is.
Yeah, the body catches. The body catches up. So I suppose if you look at it like that, it's just I know her well enough to know she's not dead. No, she's all right.
I don't think she would appreciate us trying to bury her though.
Mine would be funny. So maybe we should do it. Like, dig it up.
Oh my God.
Dear.
Yeah, that really
Honestly.
tickled me, that
Yeah,
one.
it's a great story. Let me see if I can. I don't think this is funny, but it's a petty revenge, which I like. So, right, nosy neighbours. So this happened about 20 years ago. We lived in a small terrace property for about a year before our neighbours changed. There were 100-year-old cold and uninsulated homes, and the walls between them didn't block noise particularly well. I know what that's like.
Yeah.
A nice couple moved in next door and seemed pleasant and polite. They said they would be having a moving in party, so we thought nothing of it as we're quite tolerant. The following weekend, Friday or Saturday, can't remember, but it didn't dispute work for us. The party started and ended in the early hours. No drama, all okay, we thought, until a couple of weeks later and the weekend after that, and so on and so on. Does he mean there's a party?
It sounds
that's
like there was a party
yeah.
continuing.
Yeah. Again, I know how that feels. As the year progressed into the warmer evenings, and they liked to stand outside the back door, which was almost underneath our bedroom window. Our patience was wearing thin at this point, and one particular warm evening, we wanted the window open to cool down. There was no chance due to the music, shouting, smoking, waffling up to our window. I had reached breaking point, and asking them nicely didn't change anything. Oh dear, hold on. I made the decision and searched my man drawer, which still included random items from earlier years. I located a careful weapon, stink bombs, the mini glass bottle opened. We made sure that the lights were off and carefully opened the window. I listened for a while and followed the ebb and flow of music and conversation. I timed the next peak and dropped the stink bomb out the window. Yeah, he was waiting for them to get really loud. I could just hear a faint crack as it smashed. Several seconds later, the loudest shouting we heard for several weeks, followed by a scream and slammed doors, then quiet for the rest of the night. They never said anything after that, nor did we, but the parties were always a bit quieter and shorter after that. I still have a couple stored just in case, you never know. Brilliant. That's quite a good idea, actually.
Stink bomb.
Yes. One douche.
I remember those as well.
Have you ever had a neighbour that drove you insane, or were you the neighbour that drove everyone insane?
No, I think we were always
Quite chilled.
quite a good neighbour, because we didn't really have too many parties. We should have,
Yeah.
but we didn't.
Yeah.
No, and our neighbours would never. Where I live now, they're a little bit noisy, but right now they're banging and drilling because they're quite new.
Yeah, and they've got stuff
That doesn't
going
bother
on.
me.
Yeah, I mean, I've had my fair share of stuff. but you know, fingers crossed. Not really going to go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's
Unless I need to.
rounding itself up.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's a great little story.
Oh, I love a stink bomb.
So do I.
Did you ever have them?
No, but I remember people letting them off in school.
Yes. I remember having one. Do you know what? I don't even know where it went. I remember having one, you know, and the way the bottle goes and you crack it.
Have you seen the TikTok when someone puts on the dinosaur costume and then she sprays the fart stuff into the vent? And then the bloke, he's trying to get out of me like this.
I
Get out
haven't
of
seen it.
it. Oh my god, it was
Brilliant.
fantastic.
But they are proper gaggy, aren't they? They're proper
Yeah,
evil
because
throat.
it's like a dog's fart
Throat.
actually. It's like with
It's
the.
worse than
Do
a
you
dog's
think? I think
fart.
when the dogs fart, that is a smell that stays. But yeah, that's quite good. I like the way you built the picture as well to the stories. Yeah, I have the same problem. One summer, noisy garden parties every weekend, just over the fence. I wouldn't have minded, but the music was show tunes, like the Fiddler on the Roof. I get the other as well. Let me tell you, Fiddler played on loop half a dozen times. Will do anyone's head in. My solution was to sit my big drum of liquid plant fertilizer.
Oh my god.
And poured water into it. That was what they did. Fantastic. So it smelled like shit in their garden. Same as a stink bomb, really, isn't it?
Yeah, no, you want neighbours like Helen's neighbours, where they're messaging to her and James saying, turn it up, we like this one.
Yeah,
that's what you want.
Yeah, and I think as well, if you're having a party or anything like that, it's only courtesy to say I'm having a
Absolutely.
party. And if you're doing it every weekend, you're taking the piss, because everyone
but if you
else
are doing it every weekend, have the courtesy to say we're having another one.
Yeah, but even then, I mean, you're taking the piss. If you're having a party every weekend and you've got neighbours that live in a property where the walls are thin and that sort of thing.
Yeah, but if they're underneath, they don't. When you're underneath, you don't know how thin it is until you know how thin it is.
Yes, but if you can hear them, they can hear you. So to have a party every weekend, people have lives. You don't want to listen to that every single weekend. It's a piss take. I think everyone should just respect each other. It's all right doing it every now and then, but every weekend I'd be like a mad woman, I'm telling you.
I haven't had a party at mine yet.
Should we have a party?
Well, I'd like to, but then I feel guilty because my neighbour downstairs has a baby.
Party? Well, she's
I'd invite them. I would be like, please come up.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Yeah. That's what I mean. I'm very courteous as well. I'd be worrying that I'm disturbing people.
I don't know.
But that's just the way that my brain is.
Okay. So this one is also funniest go-to stories.
Brilliant.
So I don't know, they started with, I created an account for this. So they clearly wanted to share this.
Okay.
My wife and I bought a Kerry Blue Terrier. Nice dog for about 20 minutes, then became a spawn of Satan. He was about 9 months old and eating everything he could find. He at 2, I think it means 8, but I keep reading at, but it says at.
Yeah.
He ate 2 pounds of pork roast. This is, what was that, $3,000?
It says 3,000.
It says $3,000 trip to the vet with some sort of internal bleeding.
Little fucking shit.
A 1 pound wheel of camembert. Broke the back door by leaping through the glass. $2,500 to get the glass removed, stitches, etc. Broke the front door by shattering the glass, $2,000 because it was a 100-year-old house and the door size that hasn't existed for 98 years.
What kind of dog is this?
This is terrier, they're little. He was fine this time. These are just a few of the stories. He ate everything. We had a new baby and he'd suck the socks off the baby's feet and eat them, very delicate. It took a long time to work out where the socks were going until we saw him do it and found some socks in the backyard. Couldn't tell if they were in vomit or poop.
Nice.
Anyway, one day I couldn't find my wedding ring. It was around February. The first thought was that the dog had ate it. He had ingested a 4-inch piece of silicone from a breast pump a few days beforehand, and when we realised he did it, I threw him into the back of the truck and drove him to the vet. He bathed the part up, and just as we pulled into the parking lot. Of course, if this was the case, I couldn't afford to go back to the wedding ring.
Yeah.
Couldn't afford to let any of his shit leave the yard until winter had passed. And it thawed. So I started hoarding dog shit. A couple of shopping bags of it had accumulated by the end of winter. Not to mention what was buried under the snow. When we were walking, I'd always have to stop and squeeze his shit to make sure it didn't turn up there. I took him to the dog groomers and asked if they could please check his shit, or at least bag it so I could check it. They weren't amused.
Oh my God.
Could you imagine? Mid-April and the backyard is thawed. I'm out there on my, what's that?
I think he means
Haunches? I don't know what that is.
Yeah,
wearing a few parts of latex gloves, squeezing very cold but at least squeezable dog shit. Dingle Nuts was running around the yard like a dog possessed. Next thing I knew, I was flat on my back in dog shit, and my head hurt. Dingle Nuts, I hope that isn't the dog's name. Dingle Nuts.
I'm alright.
Dingle Nuts.
Dingle Nuts!
So you're writing that, look up.
Okay.
Had rammed me in the temple with his snout. He was a bit groggy, but I was worse. I went inside and my wife was telling me I wasn't making any sense. She decided that the hospital might have been a bad option. I got out the dog shit covered clothes, threw on a fleece, and we went off to the emergency room. 2 p.m. Triage nurse asked. Triage nurse asked what had happened. I said that I'd been rammed in the side of my head by a terrier. She asked if I had been attacked by a dog. No, not in the normal sense, was the reply. Ice pack and some waiting for the doctor was the plan for the next while my head hurt. A little while later, I was back to see the triage nurse. She asked someone else to come hear the story. I'm sure there was a bunch of, hey, you're not going to believe this crazy stuff in that room that day. A couple of hours and a few ice packs later, I was taken back to a room. A nurse came by to ask a few questions. I repeated my story. She got someone else and I repeated my story. 7 p.m. and the treatment was some Tylenol.
Yeah, it's America.
Ice and rest. 8 p.m. and my wife drove me home. 8:15, I took off my fleece, reached into my pocket to get my wallet, and out came my wedding ring.
I knew you was going to say that.
Son of a bitch. Worst, I don't know what that is. TLDR. Worst birthday ever.
TLDR.
Yeah. This is him continuing. Worst birthday ever. One more thing. Just last week, he managed to open the lock and deadbolt on the front door while we were out and escaped. Got a call from the vet across town that someone was bringing him in alive and well, but found roaming the streets. Needless to say, there are more mechanical devices on the front door now to restrict his free exit from the house. There was also the time he came at the vet pregnant, the time that he came at my vet, oh my God. There was also the time he came at my very pregnant wife with a knife poking out of his mouth. He'd jumped up on the kitchen counter, taken a steak knife and then charged her with it. Gar was the jerk. What's a jerk? That's where we've got to. This dog is a character.
I tell you, it's too late because they love him already. So I looked at TLDR and it says too long, didn't read. I don't really get it.
Don't know.
Yeah,
but
anyway.
This was literally him carrying on. So he literally went from, he'd spent the whole winter saving to search shit.
Yeah, saving the shit, to look through the shit.
Just to find it in his pocket.
I know. Can you imagine? You'd be so mad. Worried about the dog, but that dog's cost them thousands.
It's too late.
It's too late because they love him.
It's already
because of his character. So they completely love this dog because he's a proper knobbent.
Yeah. I mean, Dingle Nuts, brilliant.
Yeah, Dingle Nuts is brilliant, yeah. That's it. That's all I got, babes. I tried to find some funny ones, but a lot of it I don't actually find funny.
No, they were hard to find, you know.
Yeah, you have to like really dig.
Yeah. And I'm not really up for digging. I just want it to be there. But yeah.
I mean, like this is on funny Reddit.
Do you know what? Actually, I feel like that. I mean, story sort of reminds me of Jenna's dog.
Yeah,
that's the sort of
Remy. Yeah, that she's like a nutter. It's the sort of thing she'd do. She's like Jenna. Look, this is on funny Reddit. Look, help if you can, laughing my fucking arse off. So basically, I have no clue how to go about talking to my sister, who is basically my mother, that I think I might be gay, and she is super Christian. How do I start the conversation? Why is that on funny Reddit?
What's the comments?
The comments are like,
because I don't think, yeah,
just sat down. It's just, I don't, some things that people find funny is just
it's
like,
not funny.
It's, yeah, petty revenge, that stuff is funny.
Wow. What do you think of that? What don't you think of that? I think that girl has got everything